Tika Lark, and this is the Black and Tan Show for January 6, 2014. Today we're going to talk about the minimum wage. $20 an hour. The Fair Standards Act established the minimum wage in 1938. We can thank Senator and later Supreme Court Justice Hugo Black for that, who drafted the original proposal that also included a 30-hour work week in 1932. The Harkins proposal that raises the federal minimum wage to $10 an hour is a joke. It's piecemeal legislation designed to keep us just calm enough to continue to bend over. Remember, in 1932, we were in the midst of the Great Depression. People were lining up around the block and starving. And a politician, not Superman, a politician, the people who are supposed to be fighting for us, did his job and proposed a fair minimum wage, minimum hours of work, and overtime. And in 2014, we get $10 an hour. That's the best the Democrats can come up with. According to the National Employment Law Project, 66% of low-wage workers are employed by large corporations. The 50 largest employers of low-wage workers have largely recovered from the recession, and most are in strong financial positions. 78% have been profitable for the last 3 years, 75% have higher revenues than before the recession, 73% have higher cash holdings. $10 an hour is a dog and pony show for a wage that won't lift you out of poverty. Those of us who are on the left are supposed to be happy because the minimum wage hasn't been raised in so long and now it's going to be tied to the CPI, the Consumer Price Index, which is inflation. So what's the goal? To tie people to poverty with a law? I can see the future for that. Well, we don't need to raise this very low, pathetic wage because it gets raised with the CPI. The Fair Standards Act was established to create, in its exact wordings, minimum standard of living necessary for health, efficiency, and general well-being of workers. Anyone who pays an adult $10 an hour in 2014 doesn't care about the well-being of a worker. They don't care about people. And I'm speaking as if $10 is the minimum now. No, it's not. There are people who are getting paid less than that. But I'm using the $10 example so we can see how low of a bar we've set for ourselves in the Democratic Party. The federal minimum wage is $7.25. And in California, the minimum wage currently is $8 an hour. Minimum wage is supposed to be the minimum to not live in poverty, not the minimum needed to not die. $10 an hour in California at 40 hours a week is $1,600 per month. $19,200 per year. In California, that's poverty. If you're a parent raising a kid, you still qualify for food stamps. 40% of Americans make less than $20,000 a year. What kind of life do you have when you have a 4-year-old and you're making $1,600 per month? And that's before taxes. What kind of life can you have when you're permanently part of the working poor, and that's thanks to apparently the left-leaning party? Politicians' jobs are not to calm us down. $10 an hour with our archaic and cruel means-tested safety nets might even make things worse for people. I want the minimum wage raised. I want it raised to a real wage that you need to support yourself in this country. And $10 an hour is not enough. I hope that made you angry enough to call your politician and ask why they are trying to make it seem as if $10 is an okay wage. We need for you to fight for a real minimum wage. According to the AFL-CIO, if the federal minimum wage had kept pace with workers' productivity since 1968, the inflation-adjusted minimum wage would be $18.67 per hour. The minimum wage should be $20 per hour. I'm sorry if I've hurt some Democrats' feelings, but it's a sad day when the top prize, if we get it, is buttered toasted crumbs. $10 an hour is just better quality crumbs. This is Tika Lark with the Black and Tan Show. Thanks for listening.